Welcome to A Direction Forward, Season 2, Episode 6. I can't believe that I'm actually in my second season and I'm doing 6 episodes. I'm so excited. So this one I want to talk about something that's recently happened in the media, which I'm sure everybody once you go online and you look at your whatever download you have, and it pops up. I mean, mine, it pops up every day. And it has to do with the Golden Bachelor. Now, the concept of the Golden Bachelor, I thought, was delightful. Being a senior citizen myself and a Golden Bachelorette, was looking forward to the whole concept of the program. And I don't know, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was an executive producer in California, and I had pitched a couple of shows, and one of the shows I had pitched had to do with being single and meeting someone and going forward with that. So I really loved the concept of the Golden Bachelor. Now, I did notice when I was watching the show, and I didn't watch it all the time. Sometimes I skipped a couple of sessions because it was kind of, the same old thing, blah, blah, blah. But I did notice at the end when Jerry was adamant about getting married so fast, that just sent up the biggest red flag ever. And it got me thinking about my ex and how he would do the same thing to me. In other words, he would always make something sound so exciting and so, oh, this is going to be fantastic and we're going to be doing this and it's going to be great. And then it always just completely fell flat. And because he didn't have any substance to himself and he was not able to fulfill whatever fantasy he had came up with and would leave it to me. And it was just one thing after another, after another, after another. And it got to be completely too much. So I understand where she's coming from, where, first of all, you meet somebody on a TV show, you've got the cameras, you got makeup, you got wardrobe, you got all your wording that you're supposed to say to this person all set out. Then you're the lucky one that gets picked. And they should have taken at least, I've been told by many matchmakers that you need to take at least a year. Now, when you're a senior citizen, of course, a year might seem like an eternity, but in essence, it really lets you see, as they say, the onion peels away, and you get to see their inner self. Now, if somebody's a narcissistic and they're used to being a narcissistic, like my ex was, that year is not going to be enough time because they hide everything really well. And you need at least a year, you need at least 2 to 3 years to see exactly what that person, their inner person is. And to verify what they say to you. In other words, my ex said that, he played with a band and this one person was his girlfriend, which was all false. It was all fake. And it got me thinking that the rest of his life was probably all fake too. But he hid everything really, really well. And I think that's what this Jerry did. I think he hid everything really well. So it brings me to one thing that my mom always told me that you need in any relationship or whatever you want to call what you're doing, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, or whatever. You need three things. You need love, you need trust, and you get trust from loving someone. And then the third one is communication. And you can't have communication if you don't have love or trust. And that makes sense. And of all the three, communication is one of the most important things and one of the hardest. So I'm just going to say a couple of things about communication. First of all, you need to ask open ended questions, and you need to watch that other person when they're answering you and how they answer you, what they say. Jot down a couple of things and verify. Verify what they say. I unfortunately did not do that with my ex. And if I would have verified that he never played with his band like I did once we were going through a divorce, my aha moment would have been like, oh, so he's just a fake. He's like made up this whole background of whatever he is. And he had what I call an elevator speech down pat. And I should have followed through with my intuition, which I've talked about before, and followed up on everything this man said. So ask open-ended questions. And some of those open-ended questions could be, do you remember the moment that you knew that you loved me? What's your biggest fear as an adult? How can I be a better partner? What do I do that makes you feel loved? What is something that intimidates you? What personal accomplishment are you most proud of? Tell me something that you admire about me. If you could change one big decision in your life, what would it be? This is just a couple of questions, but I mean, it kind of gives you an idea of answers and things that's going to really resonate and tell you what that type of person is. Also, focus on compassion. Now, if somebody's narcissistic, they don't have not even a whisper of compassion, because narcissistic people are not compassionate. But if you listen and make an effort to be empathetic towards another person, maybe it's understanding, maybe it's they've been neglected, maybe something's going on with them, but whatever the issue is, it's essential to consider every conversation to be an act of compassion. This is really important. Make time for one-on-one conversations. Put down the phones, turn off the TV, go to a place where you guys feel comfortable or that you really enjoy being, not in a bedroom situation, but maybe an outdoor situation, weather dependent, or a place inside the home that you just, both of you, feel very comfortable, and have one-on-one conversations. Reconnect, go over things that maybe have you've been thinking about, or something that came up, and really put that into tuning up your relationship. It's a time when you can understand how each individual communicates. Give your undivided attention. Here we go. This talk, I had this when I was with my ex. There was no phones allowed at the dinner table, and I made that a rule. And I thought that that was really a good rule, because it gave us time to talk and to reconnect and to go over just whatever happened during the day. Now, I understand that, a lot of the things he said to me were fake, because that was him. But at least it gave me something that I felt that I could look forward to. And it also, it means that they're listening to you, hopefully. I mean, I don't think mine did. I think it just went in one ear and out the other. But it gives you a feeling of a one-on-one, and make sure that they're fully present so that you can digest what they're saying. Don't be looking around, or don't be thinking, oh God, it's time for me to do this, or time for me to do that. Just sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and communicate with each other. Be a good listener. That's really important when you communicate with someone. Don't be the sole person speaking. My ex, because he was narcissistic, one person, I was so embarrassed so many times. We'd go out with this lovely couple, and he would be trying to say, something that he did, or someplace that they went to. And my ex would just barge in and talk about, something that he did, and just go on and on and on. And these people were very kind. They were very nice, but it was like a one and done. They didn't they didn't ask to go out with us again, because of my ex, because he would take over the whole conversation. He had to be, in the spotlight. So be a good listener. Learn how to be a good listener. Pick the right time to speak. Don't try to speak to someone when you know that they're involved with something, or they have a deadline. You know, ask them, can we talk now? Is now a good time? If not, let's set time aside and get back to each other. So take that right of the person to speak when they're available. And when you do that, you get the entire message across without being interrupted. Keep your responses keep your responses simple. In other words, keep it simple. This shows that you have respect for the other's time. When you draw out a long answer to a question, first of all, you lose that person. It's inconsiderate, and they just like forget it. And then, of course, short and snappy answers that get right to the heart of the issue and help your point get across will be remembered. So, you know, don't, drag it out. Don't beat around the bush, as I say. Go right, right for it. If somebody says something and they ask you a question, give them your honest answer and say, this is it. This is how I feel. Don't be the person who needs to comment on everything. Oh, here we go again. You'll be more respected in a group if you have a reputation for kicking in only when you have something important to say. Again, that was my ex. He had to be the center of everything. It was really embarrassing. Smile. Oh my goodness. If you smile and nod along as other people speak, they will be positive about opening up and letting you speak as well. If they see that you aren't listening to them, but instead impatiently waiting for your turn, like you're tapping your foot or you're, giving a heavy sigh, they won't pay you any respect. And this is true because, like I said, people would just not even, it was a one and done. They wouldn't go out with us again. They just didn't want to have anything to do with it. So to wrap all this up, tap it up, wrap it up. Words do have power, and I'm just going to go over a couple of people that have spoken and let you know what I think. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. That's from George Bernard Shaw, and that's an amen to that. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. That's unknown, but I mean, that one's posted on, I've got a post-it note with that one. Oh my goodness, that's a really good one. Here's one from Joel Osteen. You can change your world by changing your words. Remember, death and life are in the powers of the tongue. And that's so true. How many of us have said something and then we're like, oh, shoot, I wish I wouldn't have said that. And it's hard to take something back once it's come out. So, words do have actions. Another one, to communicate through silence is a link between the thoughts of man. And that was Marcel Marceau. So I hope you enjoy listening to A Direction Forward. If you'd like to shoot me an email, it's a directionforward@yahoo.com. And I want everybody to have a great day and a great week and a great month. Thank you.